Coming in hot on a Monday, Chinch. How we doing, man?
We're doing good, man. The Sean Casey country tour continues. Look at you. Where are you now? We're back in New Jersey, correct?
It's like, where's Waldo? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back in Jersey. I'm at MLB Network this week. I'm working MLB tonight from 10:30 to 12:30 with Amzinger and Plesac, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah, and you were in Richmond. Dude, I saw you were in Richmond. Explain what you were celebrating, but, dude, that baseball field looked gorgeous there, dude.
Their field's awesome, man. They've really done. It's turf now. They got a whole right field pavilion, which is nice. They put a batting cage down the left field line, and everything at University of Richmond, dude, is pristine, man. It's like everything's the same brick, so every building looks the same. It's just a beautiful campus, dude. It brought back like being with some of the guys there, like like seeing like PJ McGrory and Jay Franchman and like seeing Coach Mack, the guy that recruited me. Coach McQueen was there. Coach Atkins, like. I drove down with Jay Adams. Jay Adams was my roommate for 4 years, one of my best friends, my best man at my wedding, and also Boo. Right. We drove down 6 hours. I think the funnest time might have been the car ride, 6 hours down.
That's awesome.
6 hours back with the three of us was fun, but just reconnecting with so many guys, man, like PJ McGrory. There's so many good guys. Jason Morris, Johnny Wagler, Mike Clear, just a lot of good dudes, So it was great. It brings back so many memories. Do you ever go back to Columbia ever, dude? Because you're like,
yeah. I was up there recently, dude. I love it. It does. It's just like your memories just flood to the front of your head, don't they? It's so crazy. You feel like you never left.
The nostalgia is unbelievable. Then you start telling stories about your colleges and college atmosphere, some of the dumb things you did. How you still alive?
How are you still alive is a big one. I would say to myself. There's just so many things you could have died from and you didn't when you were in college. It's crazy. Incredible. Hey, so is some of that field? Is there like a little piece of turf or something? There's got to be. They got to hit you up for serious endowments all the time in Richmond, dude.
Dude, the only thing that drove
in Columbia, and I'm like, you have billionaires, you take their money. I don't need to be giving Columbia any money, but I'm sure Richmond's like, hey, Mr. Casey, we can put some turf in this year. I don't know what your schedule is.
They have so much money in the endowments there too. But one thing that did drive me crazy back in like 2001, the AD there back in the day had asked me to put in some money. I just signed like a 5-year deal, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like I'm indebted to the University of Richmond. I'm so grateful to have gone there. And he came to my house, showed me the plans of this new facility they're going to put in, seats and everything like that. I'm like, I'm in, and I gave a pretty big chunk of change, and I come back like 4 years later, dude. I'm expecting to see like nicest field in NCAA baseball. Come back. They put in new dugouts with my money.
Are you serious? Oh my God! And was it AT rolling? Was it AT rolling around in a vet? Like, oh shit, it's Casey.
I'm like, where's the new field? What's going on here? And dude, they're just starting to do the new field like in the last couple of years. So they finally got around to it only 22 years later.
You get a plaque in the dugouts? Is there a little Sean Casey plaque at least?
Yeah, you know what was cool, dude? In the new facility down the left field line, they have the new cages and stuff, and they have like all the All-Americans, guys that play pro ball, and they got a picture of me and a picture of Mark Budzinski.
Oh, cool.
Who's one of my dear friends. We played at Richmond together at the same time. He was the first base coach of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah,
he and I are up there with that. And it was just really cool, man. Like they're doing it right. They're a little behind the curve, but they're getting there, brother.
Nice. And then before we get into the games this weekend, this week, there's some big ones. How'd your thing go last night, dude? You've been ready to roll.
Yeah, it went great, dude. Breakthrough Pro first session. We had 14 people, which was great, and just a lot of bunch of people in person, bunch of people zoomed in, and got the first session down. We're off and rolling with the momentum. And fired up for next Sunday, man.
Nice. Are the arrows going to come into play when you break the arrow over your
throat? Maybe. We'll see. But I think the arrows might be in play again.
Okay,
no doubt.
All right. Excellent. All right.
Chichi, what about you, bro? You got the Casa de la Chincha opened up there with the nice resort.
A little sunburn action out weekend. We were just basically like cleaning it. Dude, you think it's like with when you put your Christmas decorations away, you think you did a good job with them. And then when you open them the next year, you're like, what do I do?
Who did this?
Yeah, it's like when Chevy Chase is trying to unravel the ball of things. Every year, I think I did a good job of closing out my yard. Up here on the East Coast, we got to, batten down the hatches for winter time. Go out there. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing. Jess is like, we got to kind of organize the yard. It's getting nice. And I'm like, yeah, well, there's not much out there. Dude, 2 days, the entire weekend I'm out there. I'm like, there's stuff. I'm trimming stuff. I'm finding stuff. Our shed, I was like, oh my God, I threw up all of my furniture into the shed. Couldn't even get in there. There's bicycles in there. I'm like, what the F am I doing? I don't know. Whatever. But it was fun, though. And God, the spring and the summer means so much more to me than the winter around here, dude. I feel like a better person.
Bro, I need to make it out. I mean, how far is that ride from me? I need to come out and just hang out at the pool one day.
Where? From where you are in Pitt?
Yeah. No. Here in Jersey, when I come up to work, I'm coming out to swim one day or something. Or
Dude.
work early. Maybe I'll come stay the night.
Yes, you should. I've invited you. It's not like you're not invited.
Well, the last time I was at your house, you didn't have a pool. It was like 5 years ago.
I know. And you're in my, I basically have a hobbit house. I put, it's like my mother-in-law and my mom, so they used to be like, people move into a new house and always the first thing they do is upgrade their windows. You guys got a pool. And guess what? Six years later, we still haven't upgraded our windows. And like wintertime, you walk by a certain hallway and you're like, oh my God, it's freezing. I got to get some caulk in there. But meanwhile, summertime, we're out back, chilling out. It's still the best decision I ever made, honestly. Especially pandemic, dude. When the pandemic hit, I just lived in my backyard for a year and a half.
Dude, just go to Home Depot, buy some caulking, and just start caulking.
I'm just gonna stealing it. It's gonna look like a spider web all over my house. Anyway, hey, dude, freaking big matchup. Who would have thought this? If you look back in the history of baseball, can't wait for the big Rays-Orioles matchup. This is great. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible? You would never, 2 years ago, you'd be like, Rays-Orioles. That's going to be one of the worst weekend, series of the year. Now you're looking, you're like, wow, Rays-Orioles. Rays are the best team in baseball. Orioles are right there in the East, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, man, these teams match up well. It's going to be a great series this week. It's going to be a great series.
Yeah. And you said last week, towards the end of the week, you think the Baltimore is sustainable. Like they're not going to go away if you're looking up and down their roster.
I just think they're the real deal, man. I really do, top to bottom. And Gunnar Henderson, the guy that one of their really good young players, you almost kind of look at him as a prospect. Still hasn't really gotten going. I mean, he's going to get going at some point. But top to bottom, that lineup's really good. I just think Adley Rutschman obviously is the X factor, man.
Yeah,
when he came up last year, they went to another level. I love to see Brandon Hyde too. Their manager, I think he's great. And when you start getting good players, it's like Jim Leland said, "Hey, Case, I got great players. I'm a great manager. I got horseshit players. I'm a horseshit manager." Exactly. And that's what he was like. Yeah. I got Barry Bonds hitting third for me. I'm a hell of a manager. He goes, I got Jim Bonds hitting for me. I'm a horseshit manager.
Yeah.
He went down the list of players. But that's so true. And like, I think when, there's a lot of really good guys out there that would be good managers with good players.
Yep.
Brandon Hyde's one of those guys. He's finally getting some good players. All of a sudden, you can see his managerial skills come out.
Yeah, and on that front, I love the fact that, like, you're looking at old school kind of base. Both of these teams run all over the base pass. They're like animals. You got, where is he? Mateo's got 12 bags, dude. Mateo's got 12 bags. Like, it's just the way baseball, the way you like to see it played is the way these guys are doing it right now. And especially, like, with upstart dudes, I love it. I love like the Cinderella story kind of thing. Even though these franchises have done, I mean, the Rays are in a different category. The Rays just know how to win with less than anybody else in baseball. Than anybody else in the sport.
Dude, that's a great point. Because what could they be doing so different that the Pirates can't do and the Reds can't do and all these mid-market teams, the A's.
Yeah.
Oh man, we just can't win. But like the Rays do it every year. Like. For so long now, the Rays do it better than anybody with a ridiculously low payroll, but they continue to dominate. And you got to give their front office, they're doing something different, dude. You think nowadays with the analytics and everything that everyone's got the same playbook? That's not true. They're obviously looking. They get rid of guys in the perfect timing, right? And they get guys back, in perfect timing. They get guys that weren't good other places. And they become great. They draft well and they develop well. I mean, I know they do that at elite level, and people know that. There has to be something that they're doing a little bit different, though, because other teams should be where they're at that are mid-market teams.
Yeah. And man, you go down to Tampa, you get some crappy bagels there, you know, every once in a while. Hey, you really know. I have family down in Tampa. Whenever they come to New York, we just have to literally every morning I'm at the bagel store. Like, here you guys go, and just dumping them out in New York bagels. The second part of this, so staying in that division real quick, this is something that some players were concerned about. And it's hitting me in the head right now. So Boston's in that division. They're on a roll. They've won 8 out of the last 10. They lost last night. But with the way the new schedule works, where everybody's playing everybody all over the country, you're on a roll in your division, Boston. You turn it around. You're ready to roll. And then, bam, you're in Atlanta this week. You're in Atlanta, best team in the National League. Statistically, what's your take on how that works out and how this is going to play out? Because it's going to happen to every team, so they try to say, oh, it's going to happen to everybody, but still, you're on a roll. Now you got to go NL City this early.
Well, I think this is the time to do it, though. When it doesn't matter who you're playing, even if you're a good team or a bad team, when you get on a roll, you just try and keep feeding that. So if they can go into Atlanta's a good team, 24-11, best team in the NL. Walk off yesterday with Michael Harris, extra innings. Nice ball hit the left center to walk it off. But, they got a good team. But the Red Sox are very confident right now. They're playing good baseball, top to bottom. Chris Sale looks like Chris Sale old. They're swinging the bats. Yoshida looks legit. Verdugo's having a really nice year. Duran, they got some guys that are really, really swinging the stick. So, Alex Cora and that crew right now, they don't mind going to Atlanta right now because they're clicking on all cylinders too. So when you go head-to-head with a team like that and to get where you want to go, you've got to beat those kind of teams. So I think the psychology of the whole thing is, hey, listen, we're playing well too. We know the Braves are, but it's going to be a collision course of two really good teams right now.
Yeah, I like that. Couple other matchups going on. Dodgers-Milwaukee is one that intrigued me personally. Milwaukee's 19-5 right now. Dodgers 21-14.
You mean 19-15, not 19-5.
Oh, Jesus, right? 19-15. That would be a whole other. Sorry. They haven't.
I was like, man, it must be rained out a lot and playing great.
They're struggling a little bit. Dodgers are streaking. Dodgers are doing what they do like right now, and they're streaking. 8 out of 10. Yeah. They've won two in a row. What's your take on that matchup?
Yeah, kind of waiting for the Dodgers to make that run. You knew they would. Hey, James Outman's going to be a star too. They obviously let Bellinger walk, but they knew they had Outman in the wings. It's been dominating down there at AAA, basically putting up the numbers he did last year at AAA in the big leagues now. So they got a star out there. You saw yesterday too. San Diego thought they had him. Hader gives a fastball. Hader's been locked down all year. Josh Hader, closer for the Padres, gives that pitch to Mookie Betts. That's why superstars are superstars. He comes up the big home run in the ninth. So the Dodgers are playing good baseball. And, obviously for the Dodgers to be well, their stars have to play well. Freeman, Betts, those guys. Outman's kind of the new guy. He's going to be a star too. But they're top to bottom. They got to pitch it too. Clayton Kershaw's pitching really well right now. I think that's a big thing. But, when you look at this series, Milwaukee comes in with some really good pitching too. They got some that rotation. The bullpen's really good. Devin Williams at the back end there. And, dude, the one guy in that Milwaukee lineup that I really like, that I liked when he was with Toronto, is Rowdy Tellez.
Oh, I like him.
Rowdy Tellez has got a great swing, dude. Go look at his numbers, Chich, if you could pull those up. Because he's sneaky having a great year. I think he's got 9-10 bombs, drives in some runs. He's hitting around 250, 260 maybe. But he's got a great swing, and he's a guy that can beat you one swing of the bat. Since Yelich has kind of come back to earth and been really an average to a little bit above average player, Rowdy Tellez has kind of slid in there, in that trade with Toronto a couple years ago, has really become the big bat in that lineup that they can count on.
Yeah, 9 dingers, 22 ribbies, 16 runs scored, and he looks like he looks like the guy you'd want in a bar fight with you too if you see him in person. 6'4", 270. Sean.
Big dude, bro, and the nicest guy. I'm 6'3" with my 6'4" with my shoes on. I'm 6'3" without them on. But in the program, I was 6'4". When I played, I was 235. Now I'm coming in at a paltry 218. So I don't know. Nice. I mean, I don't know if the punches have as much behind them anymore, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a weird question? Now that you're streamlined the way you are,
yeah.
Do you think if what you know now, the stuff you do now physically, you would have been better back then in this form of your body or do you still think you need that meat and that muscle to get through 162?
Well, I look at Schwarber. I think if I was playing, I'd be stronger. Like, I'm strong now, but I'd be way stronger. These guys, the stuff that they're doing, I think I would be way stronger. Like you look at Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo redid his body a few years ago. Kyle Schwarber redid his body. You know what I mean? Like Kyle Schwarber has some of the most power in the league, and he's jacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's just slimmed down so he can play the outfield. Same with Rizzo's really looks great too. So I think I could be 220 and jacked and powerful, strong deadlifter, strong power cleaner, that kind of stuff. The way they're doing stuff now is at a different level, like a Bryce Harper jack. So I think I would be better, like physically now. You know, back then, dude, I was 235 benching 350 for three. You know, squat was leg pressing a lot. It wasn't a huge squat, but leg pressing a lot, all that stuff. So like I was strong, but not. I think now these guys nowadays change. They're functionally strong.
Yeah.
Like
quick twitch muscle reaction,
quick twitch, powerful
yoga.
Power movements. You know, like JD. You know, my buddy John Dennis, obviously one of the best trainers out there. Dude, when he's working with these guys, they're doing power movements, and they're powerful dudes. You know what I mean? They're moving big time weight, but everything they do is explosive now. So they train so different. No one's doing bench and lat pull downs and stuff that we were doing, leg extensions.
Right.
You know, no one's doing that now.
Put it on the bottom, the whole bar.
Yeah,
I could do the whole bar
like this. Get the bicep.
Back in my day, I could do it. I could do the whole bar in my little form. Except if I like let my body go, it would fucking shoot me straight through the roof because those things weigh. It probably weighs like an extra 100 pounds more than me.
You'd have to have somebody spot you on the lat pull down machine.
Yeah, all the tall guys always hated me because short arms. I have less. They'd be like, "You don't have as much to lift as we do. You don't have to bench as much." I'm like, "Screw you! I weigh like 30 pounds. Give me a break. I gotta have something in my life. I'm a short guy. I like being a strong guy. It's fun." It's like Lambuski. I saw Lambuski, and he was wearing that shirt. He was like this. He's like, "Welcome to Richmond, everybody." Ah! What was that? It was like a jersey he was wearing, but it was painted on.
Dude, Boo came into Richmond. Dude, the first time I ever met the Lambuski, first day ever, he walks in with a Lawrence Taylor jersey on. Everyone's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Like, "Hey man, I'm from Jersey." And dude, he wore jerseys every day. Like, the University of Richmond's a little preppy. Like, they got the collared shirts. You feel like it's some of the country club kids. Here comes the Lambuski from Hackensack, New Jersey, just dropping an LT jersey, you know, all that stuff. I'm like, what's going on here?
He walked in there with his faux hawk. So funny.
Oh, dude. Tight, you know, Boo, like, you know, his hair's pristine, tight, perfect. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's hysterical. All right, that's a good kind of spin-off there. Wait, there's one other series that was going on here that I wanted to bring up. Statement series for the Angels, I say, hosting the Astros. Like,
I think so.
If you're for real, let's go. You got to win the series, Angels, please. Shohei, Trout.
Oh man, they're playing well right now. You'd like to see the Angels. The Astros are always a good test for everybody because they're really good. You know, but you know, Shohei, Trout, these guys are showing out right now and playing some good baseball. You'd like to see them. You'd like to see them get this series against the Astros just to see where they're at. Like, are they real? Are they not real? Are they beating the teams they can? Can they beat the good teams? Because over 162, you got to be able to beat the good teams.
Yeah, and I want to see a full season out of Trout. You know, sometimes he gets at 130, 140. It hurts. Here's how good he is. Here's how good he is, right? Because we have not really talked about him that much on this show. How's 299 with a 388 on base, 8 homers, 20 ribbies, 25 runs, and 127 at bats? Like, that's just what he does. That's just what he does. Imagine you start your season off 299 with 8 dingers and 20 ribbies in 127 at bats. You'd be like, MVP coming for me this year.
Right. It's like ho hum. Everyone's like, hey, what's Trout?
Don't even talk
he's doing all right. Like, that's anyone else in the league. He's having a freaking career year, career month.
Yeah. And so then, what's your take on the Astros on the flip side? Like, where do you stand with them? Like, they seem to know how to win, but they still have lost a couple guys. They are literally at 500 right now.
Yeah, well, you saw Garcia's out, I think, with Tommy John, one of the best pitchers. And they haven't really gotten it going. The offense hasn't really gotten it going. They haven't had Altuve. You know, I think that's a big blow to them. You know, not having Altuve out there, got hurt in the WBC, I believe broke his wrist or his hand. You know, not having him out there was big. Yeah,
I completely forgot that he's been gone that whole time.
I think they're a different club with him, Chinch. I think he's that big of a factor
I
that
think
they're a totally different club without him in the lineup.
and even when he's not hitting, he's still putting bats together, and he's up the middle of your team, and he's been a champion and an MVP and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to not have him sitting in the dugout and being in your lineup every day, right? Your best player, or the heart and soul of your team.
There you go. You just said the heart and soul of the team. Just his leadership. There's certain guys that are in the lineups. Whenever they're in the lineup, you're like, all right, we're better off. No, but he doesn't have to get a hit tonight. But we're better off because the pitchers are pitching him differently, or they're, he's putting together big at bats with. If he's not getting hits, he's seeing a few pitches, and it makes Bregman better. It makes all the guys in that lineup better. It just top to bottom makes Tucker better. So having Altuve missing and them still sitting around 500, like if when he gets back at some point, I got a feeling they're going to take off.
Yeah. Also interested in seeing how there's a lot of like 2s and 3s playing each other this week too, like Cleveland and Detroit. Like when you're they're let me ask you this: do you start thinking about this? Minnesota's up, Cleveland's 2.5 back, Detroit's 3 back. Are you scoreboard watching yet, or not yet? This part of the season.
Not yet. No, you don't scoreboard watch till probably June.
Do you scoreboard watch when there's a no-hitter going on? Do you look up and be like, oh, they got a no-hitter through 6 in a positive? I mean, you're standing at first base and you have an ace.
Is that in the game that I'm in?
No, not the game that you're in. Do you ever look up and see how your boys were doing? Or wow, it's 14-10 in that game, whatever. Or did you never check?
Dude. Yeah, you're looking around. Back in the day when I was with the Reds, you just had like the score though. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have
not these freaking.
You didn't know what the heck was going on. You just knew it was 7-5 Brewers or something like that.
Oh my God! Now a jumbotron, that's like you might as well just sit and stare at that and not watch anything.
Yeah, now they got the pitch clock, the exit velocity, the miles per hour. There's so many freaking places to look when you're at a game now. It's incredible.
You know what else happens? This is a new world thing that people do, and I know they do it because I can see it. Because if you look real close, you can see the pixels. But people will shoot the live replay of like you're at the Yankees game, whatever, and it's like, oh, Judge homered, and you just shoot the jumbotron so it looks like you're in like the 5th row back. Oh, great seats to the Yankee game, whatever. When meanwhile you're in the 450s upstairs and you just got the tight shot on a jumbotron. People do that at concerts too. Or you can zoom in your phone so much that it looks like you're in the 3rd row of a Billy Joel concert. When meanwhile you're like you can't even tell it's him. People
good, that's so good, dude. I'm going. Speaking of concerts,
what do you got?
My daughter went down to Nashville this weekend with her mother, and they went to see Taylor Swift, dude. I'm going to take Jillian when Taylor Swift comes to Pittsburgh, dude. The lower level tickets for Taylor Swift are like $1,800.
Unbelievable.
Well, I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm doing that. I think this is the first time I'm going upper tank. I'm going upper tank, dude. I'm not going 1,800 for I'm 22. Everything's gonna be all right.
Just bring binoculars. I'm with you, dude. It's hard, man.
I love my daughter, but I love her like $400, $300.
You love her in a 300 level now, not in the floor seats. That's like, what we do? We sneak around the country a little bit. Like we go, if somebody really huge is playing, first of all, being from New York, like a Garden ticket or a Barclays Center ticket to anything could be Yanni. It's like $400 you're starting at. But like, we'll go to like Philly. They have a great facility there, and we'll take an overnight, go to Philly, and sit like in those closer rows, you know, for the guys we want to see. Maybe you can do that. You travel all over the country.
That's what I got to do.
Although Taylor Swift tickets are going 1,800 no matter where you are in this country right now. I can't believe we're talking about her.
No, Taylor Swift is going, dude. It's incredible, and she is incredible, dude. I've been to 2 concerts with her. Matter of fact, I got a chance to meet her backstage, dude, a couple years ago.
That's unbelievable.
In Indianapolis, brought my daughter's dad of the year type stuff. Thanks, Jim Tomey. But dude, she was so freaking nice. You walk up, you're like, oh man, I hope this works out. My daughter plays all her songs on guitar. It's the only reason she plays guitar is and they walk up and she's exactly what you think she is, dude. She was like so down to earth, so stinking nice. It was incredible.
It's funny. Incredible. I was just listening to this interview with Conan O'Brien. Can I have done this? It was really cool. I think it was with Howard Stern. Was asking him like, who were the guests? Because don't forget, like Conan O'Brien's career is not just late night. he was a writer on The Simpsons. He was a writer on Saturday Night Live, and then he got all these shows. He's one of the most brilliant comedic writers that we know in our generation. And he told this really great story. Google it if you see it. But he's like, it's the people who you would say, okay, I get it. Like, I get why they're better. I get why they're better. And one guy he mentioned two guys. One was Bruce Springsteen. He's like, whenever Bruce would come, and this was when he was doing a late show, not even like the primetime shows. Bruce would come. He would come. All right, what do you want to do for a bit? What do you want to do for this? And he said by the end of the 4 hours of Bruce doing something for them, he knew the name of every camera guy. He knew the name of all the interns, and he would stay there with them and like drink beers and hang out with the crew. That's one guy. And then the second guy he mentioned, similarly, but an actor, Tom Hanks. And he's like, I clearly remember, like, first of all, he'd come in, what do we got? What do you guys got for me? What's going on? Right. And he said this one day, he walked by the writer's room at Saturday Night Live, and it was like Wednesday night, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And Tom Hanks was sleeping on one of the tables. Sleeping on a table, and Conan walks in, he's like, hey, Tom, you right? He goes, yeah, let's go, man. He's like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys this week. What do you got for me? You got something? And he's like, no, go back to sleep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. But like he said, those type of guys, they're great people, and they work harder. You talk about like outwork everybody else and be a good person. And it's a really cool thing. Google the whole interview when you get a second.
That's cool. Is that one of the newer interviews?
I couldn't tell. I haven't been listening. I haven't been driving in my car that much this week, so I haven't been listening to Sirius. So I don't know. It sounded new because I've heard Conan on. Yeah,
I want to check that out, dude. I got a connection to Conan. It's so funny.
Do you?
So Conan, myself, and a friend of mine that's one of my dear friends, Father Paul O'Brien. He's a priest up in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. We started we were a big part of starting it, but I'm just saying a lot of people threw in. Don't know what you think.
Right.
But you know, we get a lot of credit for it, but whatever. And it's like a soup kitchen. It's not even a soup kitchen. We started a restaurant. It's called Unum up in Lawrence, Massachusetts. If you're ever up in Lawrence, go check this place out, dude. Everyone's a volunteer. The people that come in sit down at tables with menus, and you walk up and you say, hey, can we take your order? Cool. It's one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of in my life.
Wow.
And Conan and Father Paul were college roommates at Harvard.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they're the best of friends. The best of friends. So, like, Conan, you know, I've gotten a chance to hang out with Conan before. He's a great dude. Great dude.
That's brilliant. He's one of my favorites. He's, like, been one of my favorites. Like,
he's a genius. He's a genius, dude. He's a genius.
You can write for Bart Simpson, and you can write for Saturday Night Live, and then you can sit there and host a show, you know, learning how to interview people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the most brilliant dudes out there. Anyway, all right. Great. Excellent.
All right, one other question before we go.
Yeah.
We talked about Taylor Swift for $2,000 in the lower deck. My buddy Carmen's got tickets to Cinderella in a parking lot at Target not kidding, in like July 1st. What would you pay for that ticket? Cinderella.
In a parking lot?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like $40 with a $20 kid discount? What? I'm trying to think. What is it?
Dude, they got some great songs, bro. Gypsy Road, Don't Know What.
I thought they were going, like, here in New York, like, I thought they were playing, I thought there was like a play of Cinderella from Disney.
No, I was talking about the band, Cinderella.
Oh, Jesus. And I'm like, why would you go see Cinderella? Like, what? Is it this school play? Oh, my God, the band Cinderella. What are the tickets? Are they expensive?
No, I think they're like $20.
Oh, so they're less.
It's going to be incredible. I'm saying I'm going to Cinderella, but I'm saying cool. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
Because I think I'm going to get my money's worth going to see some of the great songs that they sing.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, like, I don't know, man. I guess I would pay more for a concert than a sporting event. Because at the concert, you know the songs that are going to be sung, so you know what you're getting out of it. To go to, like, a Game 7 for an NBA Finals of your favorite team or something, your team could lose. And they could get blown out. So you could go... Yeah. That's why I have trouble paying... Or
you could see the greatest Game 7 of all time.
You could. You really could. That's the thing.
I think you should take the shot.
Oh, see, I'm not a shot taker with the sports.
No, no.
I guess I'm a little jaded too because, like, you know, you play. I play. Like, I covered.
Yeah.
I've been in a building working. I've been at some of the biggest sporting events of the last 25 years, but I was sitting in a truck with you and like and like Al Leiter with his like dirty socks and sitting next to me on a couch. But I've been there for a lot of them. I love just sneaking in.
So true.
Anyway, all right, man. So you got the MLB tonight this evening. Late
the
show.
MLB tonight. Got MLB tomorrow. MLB tonight tomorrow too. I think I'm 6 to 8.
Gotcha. So they start.
And then,
yeah, this is a late night for Sean Casey. Very late night.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm in bed at 9:30. I'm starting work tonight at 10:30. I gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure it out. Get some green tea in you or something like that.
Dude, some caffeine. Yeah.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. All right, man. Have a great rest of the day, brother, and everyone out there. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.